as nice looking as this code is, or this presentation here, we could do a little more with it. We're not going to get too deep with CSS just yet, but let's at least change the font to something that doesn't look quite so default. So there are a few fonts that you can kind of count on being installed on most devices. Fewer than used to be, though, thanks to mobile devices. But we can use web fonts now, and those are pretty cool. Now, don't get too carried away with those because the download size does add up fairly quickly, and it is another dependency and just another file for people to load. But it can be pretty nice to just make things look a little snazzier. And there are some free web fonts available from Google Fonts, a pretty large library of them, actually. And the URL is, predictably enough, fonts.google.com. Let's go on out to Google Fonts and pick something that just isn't Helvetica or Arial. But a nice readable sans serif would be cool. I like the look of Lato here. I like this little ligature here. That's kind of cool for FL. Yeah. So let's just add that font. Click the little plus. One family selected. Tells us the load time is pretty fast. You may notice if you go over to customize, it's only choosing one weight. It doesn't include bold and bold italic, regular italic, light, light. And now load time is getting slower and slower. So keep in mind, there's all these shapes for all the letters, all the numbers, all the extended characters. So it adds up pretty quickly. So for right now, I don't know that I need anything other than regular. So I'm just going to stick with that. And it'll give me two different sets of instructions. Standard just gives us a link tag. So that's an actual link to a style sheet. At import would be to import this into another style sheet. Notice the URL here. So fonts.googleapis.com, CSS family equals Lato. If we go over here and add some more weights to it, like add bold, the URL changes slightly. So that's kind of how this works with Google Fonts. Pretty easy. So it's still just one import even if you have multiple weights. So let's just do it this way using @import. So I'm going to copy this line into the style sheet that I've already got. So index.css. I'll just add that import at the very top. And then to actually use the font specified in CSS, font family : Lato, it puts it in quotes. If it had spaces in it, the quotes would matter. And it just has it fall back to sans serif. So how about I just add that to the front of my list? Lato, comma, fall back to Helvetica, Arial, sans serif, like that. So if this worked, we should see it change. Yeah, just a little less generic and default looking. I like it. I'm going to keep it. If you had more than one font you wanted to add, as someone asked this morning, just add it too. So Montserrat here, let's add that. Now we've got two of them. Notice the URL changed. So now it says vertical bar Montserrat there. I'm not actually going to do that. Just showing you how you would do it if you wanted to. So cool. We've got a non-default font there. And it looks pretty nice. This commit will add Lato typeface from Google Fonts. So all you have to do is add a CSS file. And then that font's available to you. So I committed, but I haven't pushed yet. Don't forget to push. Questions about that? Cool.